In this IoT Radar, we have an interview with Steve Paulson from Signetic about big artificial intelligence and small artificial intelligence. And with Antonio Cirella, I'm going to discuss the IoT market in Italy and a small cartoon to finish it all off. Enjoy watching the IoT Radar. Thank you very much for your time, Steve Paulson from Signetic.
Yes.
Steve, I was reading an article, it was a blog posting from Nordic Semiconductor. And basically you were quoted there and you mentioned big artificial intelligence and small artificial intelligence. What is your definition of big artificial intelligence, small artificial intelligence?
Yeah, so those terms, big and small are used quite a bit when you talk about things like data, big data, small data. And when you think about artificial intelligence, you're applying it to data, usually. So the way we look at it is, and whether this terminology is not really used commonly, but the small AI versus the big AI, I would imagine sensors or small devices that are battery or power constrained. They can do a little bit, but they can't do as much as our cloud-based systems, and they have access to less data. So really, the small AI to big AI map to small data, big data. So you can imagine maybe you have 1,000 sensors deployed that measure something such as temperature. Well, each sensor can apply some small AI or some simplified basic AI to help make decisions to limit what data gets sent to maybe a server or the cloud, where you could run a second phase of big AI, more advanced with big data, looking at. And so that terminology really is saying, everybody talks about doing these big AI algorithms up in the cloud and getting all that data and pumping it up. But if data costs money to move, it costs power and battery to move. And so if you can do some smaller decisions down at the edge using less power, you can weed out some things that you're really not interested in.
With 30 years experience in this business, how would you say, what is the current situation, the market situation in Italy?
The Italian situation about the IoT is, as I said, is in good shape, is increasing. We had in the Electronic AV magazine an article in June, so very recent, where we published a sort of dossier regarding the IoT in Italy. It's around between 20 to 30% increase year by year. So it's completely in line with what is happening in Europe, Italian market. So it's actually the same growing we see also outside of Italy. Concerning what is very typical in Italy regarding the IoT, is most of all is the smart meters. So we have a law which is a compulsory law which tells the energy company to provide a smart metering feature in their smart meters. So this is together with the connected car, which is the other big business about the IoT in Italy, is about half of it. So it's 3 billions.
Now, there is a lot of talking about IoT, and that is more theoretically about artificial intelligence, industrial IoT. Industrial IoT, is that something happening in Italy as well? Is that playing a role?
Yes. It's let's say in this list of application for the IoT, the smart factory is something that was regulated. We have a law also for smart factory, which is the National Smart Factory Plan, Industry 4.0. which gave a few years ago a lot of money to companies. I must admit, the bigger companies is a PMI, but very few, but bigger company took the chance to get this money in. And implementing their smart factory, let's say, projects in their industry.
If I hear you talking, I feel the role of the government is actually quite important in the success of IoT implementations.
The 24% of the growing we had year by year is mostly because of this regulation.
What do you think will happen? What is your prediction?
Yeah, I think the approach I just mentioned a minute ago regarding the servicing of the IoT will be more and more present in our applications.